Good morning. Welcome to Speaking of Animals. I'm Amy Carotenuto from Flagler Humane Society with a special guest today. We have Dr. Amy Long, who has been a wonderful friend to Flagler Humane Society and a lot of humane societies and rescues and over the years. Dr. Long is a native Floridian. She started her career in Edgewater after going to school in the West Indies, which we're going to ask you about that because I think that's interesting. I met you, Dr. Long, when you were working in Edgewater. We just realized this like over 20 years ago.
A couple decades ago.
Yikes, we old. And I know now you work for an emergency hospital, the Veterinary Emergency Center of East Volusia, which is quite the mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing. We're going to tell you some really cool stories of things that Dr. Long has done for animals, which very interesting work you do in emergency work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Now, let's go back to when we met in Edgewater. You were working at a regular day practice, and I think you were helping me back then at Edgewater Animal Services, right?
I think that's how we met originally.
Yeah.
So you've known me since I was a baby vet just out of school. I graduated in 2006.
Okay.
So I'm just shy of 20 years out of school.
Wow. And what made you go to the West Indies for veterinary school?
I graduated from Barry University down in South Miami, and I applied to like 11 different vet schools once and was completely rejected from all of them and completely broke my heart.
Aw.
And I was trying to figure out what else I was going to do with my life because that was my only goal, was to be a veterinarian. And I had wanted to be a veterinarian, according to my mom, since I was like 3.5.
Aw.
So after having my heart broken from all the rejection letters that I got in the mail, I applied to a school called St. George's University, and they were still not accredited at that point in time, like they are now with the AVMA and their accredited school recognized by the United States. So I kind of took the whim. They were at they were, I think, 4 years in, so they had just graduated a 1 or 2 years out already, and I just kind of took a whim. And Barry University had a relationship with St. George's at the time, and I applied, and they liked what they saw, and they saw that I, was worthy of going into veterinary medicine, and got accepted, and I jumped on a plane, and I started my adventure of the last 20 years.
Wow. I know it's very, very hard to get into vet school, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Which is crazy because there's such a veterinary shortage. Like, we need more veterinarians.
Yeah, we need more veterinarians. We need more support for veterinarians in our line of work, because we are definitely dwindling in the area of mental health, and we are a profession of one of the highest suicide rates in the United States, unfortunately.
Yes. People, be nice to your veterinarian. It seems like everybody should be, but and I'm sure you see it a lot in emergency medicine, because obviously in emergency medicine the emotions are high, and I'm sure it's very, very, very difficult work, but we appreciate you guys tons. I can't even count how many lives Veterinary Emergency Center of East Volusia, you and the doctors there, can't even count how many times you guys have saved animals for us. It's usually, my specialty is usually when a puppy comes in with parvo. We may send them down to Veterinary Emergency Center of East Volusia for the first, couple of days, and then they end up at home with me for the end of their recovery. And so many lives saved. Recently, I know we had one named Ivy. Ivy's been on the radio show with us. Tell us about some of the, not necessarily the things you've helped us with, but just interesting veterinary emergency stories. What are some of the crazy things you've seen?
Uh, let's see. We've had quite a few gunshot wounds with the area police, so those have been quite interesting. There's definitely the minute to minute things that count, where our true emergencies come in. And it's not just the skin infection that's been there for like several weeks and things like that. So we've helped out the community and the officers with some gunshot wounds. Certainly, and those are definitely again very high stakes at that point in time.
Are you talking about like the canine officers or just?
The canine officers.
Oh, wow.
We have it probably was a couple of years ago when we got one of the canine officers that was shot. I don't remember which municipality it was, and one went to the Ormond emergency clinic. So 2 dogs were shot at that time. So they had gotten one, and then we had gotten the other one. But it was definitely an honor to work on those and get them back to health.
So you were able to save both, or both of them were able to be saved?
I'm pretty sure both of them survived, yes.
Wow.
Some other things that have come about. I mean, we have the various wounds that come in and dog fights and things of that nature. Most recent one, I won't mention her name,
Right.
but she was picked up by Flagler County and brought to us with a very large gaping wound in her neck. And we fixed it up once the owner was actually found. He came and collected the dog after a certain amount of time. Very interesting individual he was. But she wound up coming back to us a couple weeks later while we were managing this very large wound in her neck, and found out the other housemate had actually attacked her probably the first time and attacked her again, and basically broke down everything that we had been working on for weeks to try to get to heal. But thankfully, it has actually turned out well. Surprisingly enough, that second bout with the other dog was kind of a blessing in disguise, and we were able to get everything fully closed, and she's healing up quite well.
And hopefully they've made other arrangements as far as keeping the dogs separate. And
I do believe that has definitely happened.
Whatever was triggering the disagreements between the dogs.
Yes.
Oh, I'm trying to think of some of the other things you've done for us, because I know we've had animals with broken bones that we pick up an animal at night that's been hit by a car. We'll come down to you. You guys have done amputations for us. I know 3-legged cats, and actually 3-legged cats will get adopted faster than a 4-legged cat, because everybody wants the animals that have the sad story.
That is the truth, and it's sad, but they do get the homes a lot quicker. The 3-legged dogs and kitty cats, they do go a lot quicker.
So do you end up working? You work a lot of nights.
I don't work as many nights as I used to. I am getting on the older side, so nights don't agree as well as they used to. So I used to pull like 3-4 nights in a row, but I'm kind of down to like 2.
Yeah,
or
enough.
2, and then skip a day and then do another one.
Now y'all are open now Thursdays all day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday all day.
We're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday all day, and then Monday through Thursday in the evenings after 6.
I know it's such a blessing, and it's a long drive from Flagler County.
Yes,
but
it is.
It's worth
definitely.
It's worth the drive. So we very much appreciate everything you and the staff there have done for the shelter and for just animals in general. I know you guys are a very devoted crew. I came when you had the grand opening of the building that you're in now, and the equipment is impressive. The whole place is just very impressive. So well, we are going to come back after this break and talk some more with Dr. Amy Long. Welcome back to Speaking of Animals. I'm Amy Carotenuto here with Dr. Amy Long, and I wanted to show a picture of one of our alumni, that Dr. Long and the staff at Veterinary Emergency Center of East Volusia, she's part of their family now, I guess. So, Dr. Long, do you remember it was like 3-4 years ago?
2022, actually.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was that long ago.
so Big Bertha had been at the shelter for months, and then we brought her to you because she had had a seizure. She was like living in our lobby. She had, just become part of the shelter almost, although she was up for adoption. But, she'd been at the shelter for a long time. And when she had a seizure, we brought her down to you, and then I'll let you tell the rest.
So Big Bertha was an elderly canine pity mix. She came to us from Flagler, having had a seizure, what looked like a seizure. We had determined that she had had a canine stroke, which is basically an inflammation within the bounce centers in the brain. And she was not able to really ambulate very well or, get up on all fours and walk normally and steady. So she was kind of falling over and leaning up against the wall to try to keep herself up to move. And she did have a head tilt for a long time because it makes their world very topsy-turvy. When I get clients into the ER when their dog has exhibited these signs, they usually equated to like a sailor on a ship walking like a drunken sailor. Those signs usually come up very quickly. It is usually the owner goes to work during the day, the animal is completely fine, and they come home and they have quite a mess of the house is in disarray from the animal trying to get himself up and down, but not able to. May or may not have had a seizure or things that look like a seizure event, and just they can't stand, their head is shaking or they have a head tilt, eyes are flicking back and forth, which is called nystagmus, is the clinical term for that. And sometimes they're vomiting and things like that because they're in such distress and disorientated. But over a certain amount of time, usually it takes a couple days to a week for them to get their bearings back. And sometimes it never happens again, and we don't necessarily really know why. Usually the vet will run some lab work and make sure there's not a metabolic problem that caused it to come on, like an underlying condition like kidney disease, liver disease, thyroid, hypothyroidism. But happily, she recovered. She was definitely had some mobility challenges when she was with us, and which has continued into her older years. But she definitely got another lease on life, as they call it.
With one of the doctors.
With one of our relief veterinarians, Dr. Barbara, actually took her home. And she lives a very nice, plush life with living in her pajamas and has a couple canine companions, couple kitty cat companions, and a horse too. Okay. And they live out in Nevada now.
Aww,
so she's doing all right
in her
elder years, her
good,
golden years.
Good to hear about one of our alumni. And I'm remiss, Dr. Long, you're so interesting that I didn't even introduce our co-hosts for today. This is not a rerun show. These are the same co-hosts that I had last week, but they did such a good job that
so well behaved.
They said they wanted to come do the show again. So this is back by popular demand. Sophie and Midnight, both up for adoption at the Humane Society. They're a bonded pair. They're a little bit older, but they are the perfect dogs. So like if you're not the most experienced pet owner, they're easy.
They can just tell you what to do.
They're easy. Yeah, they're house trained.
They can show you what to do.
Good with other animals. They're just, if you don't have a lot of confidence as far as owning pets, these are great. They're just best first-time pets. So Dr. Long, I know you've worked at a few different places. I met you in Edgewater, and now you're at the Veterinary Emergency Center. And you also, for a time, were here locally, pretty much right across the street from the radio station. You were at Happy Life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was at Happy Life for approximately 3 years, where I ran it as its own entity. It was owned by a foreign veterinarian, and he unfortunately fell on some harder times with his health, and he wound up needing to sell the practice. I was not in the having the ability to purchase a practice at that time, so
That's too bad.
he wound up selling it to a medical doctor in Japan as well. So also not in the United States, but managing from afar. And there was some issues with the transfer of the business over. It was during the time of COVID, which was a very sketchy time for all of us and very scary, very where we didn't know what the next things were going to come of our country, and certainly locally in 2020, and then into the 2021 era. But there was some issues with paperwork and some things that were not filed correctly with that transfer, and found out that the business was not legal in some aspects with things. I was told to continue practicing despite not being correct with the state at the time. And I was the veterinarian in charge and the veterinarian that was responsible for all of our clients, all of our patients, and things like that. And I didn't feel that it was the right thing to do to continue practicing, especially when the state told me that we could not.
Right.
Even though the person that was paying my paycheck told me to continue. I was jeopardizing my license and my family's livelihood, and I stepped away. And basically, I walked away from the clinic. The clinic, they did not have the ability to get another veterinarian in there, given the situation. So it eventually did close down.
I know we were sad to see that hospital close. I'm sure your clients were very sad to see you close. There was some of the equipment you was donated to the Humane Society, so that was nice.
Well,
but
we got something out of there.
We were still very, very sad to see you go, and I was very happy when I heard that you were at our emergency hospital that we use so much. So we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back. We are back to speaking of animals, and I just wanted to thank my guests today, Dr. Amy Long from Veterinary Emergency Center of East Volusia. What did you just say, Dr. Long? You're the person that you're happy to see, but
people are happy to see when they see me because they've known me for 19 years. I've been in the Volusia County area. So I started my career here, and I've basically just stayed. So I've never actually left. I've just kind of gone from between general practice and emergency and back to general practice. And
which do you like better? Do you like general? Do you like general practice or emergency?
I like emergency just because
it's very interesting.
Know what's coming through the door. And you've got to definitely be on top of your game and as best you can be, so you can just work it out when it comes in, and being quick on your feet certainly.
Well, we're very, very thankful that you're there. The whole team, Dr. Zavada, Dr. Carrie Zavada is like an angel on earth, and we're very happy that you're there. And hopefully we don't see you soon, right?
Hopefully you don't see me soon.
I want to remind everybody we have a Yappy Hour coming up. It's going to be August 23rd at the Good Times Dog Bar. Have you ever been to the Good Times Dog Bar?
I have not.
It's so cool. Well, you should come. It's really cool. It's on A1A, just almost quite a ways north, but it's such a cool place. Really nice, supervised dog park, and they've got a pool, and it's really cool. So Yappy Hour at the Good Times Dog Bar. Please pre-register, if you will, so that your pet can, so you get your vaccine records and everything. But go to our website, flaglerhumanesociety.org, to register for that. That's August 23rd.
That's this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like soon. Bring your dogs and come to the Yappy Hour this weekend. And I also have to thank, besides Dr. Long, we can't forget the other co-hosts today, Sophie and Midnight, up for adoption at the Humane Society. Come see them. So thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. We always appreciate it, and we will talk again next week.
Thank you for having.
Thank you.